new channel hype. Let's freaking go. What's up, everybody? It's me, Melonie Mac, here on my new channel, Melonie Mac Go Boom. Welcome. If you are not subscribed here and you want to see me more open and sharing my opinions on stuff about social commentary and things of that nature, about current trends and things going on in the world, things going on in all the trending things. I don't know, man. Try not to burp right now. Okay, so I wanted to make this space first and foremost because on my regular channel, Melonie Mac, I started that as like a gaming and tech type thing for the most part. And whenever I do venture off and share my opinion on stuff, especially more controversial type topics, that tends to make some people a little salty. So I got some G Fuel I spilled on my face. I decided to make this channel so that those who don't want to see my opinions on things don't have to watch. So if you want to, I can't be completely unfiltered because of YouTube's limitations. Granted, I do have it set up to where everything uploads on Rumble as well. So if you just prefer that platform, I'm there as well now. But yeah, I obviously have limitations to whatever YouTube allows. But for the most part, this is a place I can be me and I can share my opinions and I can talk about whatever the crap I want to for the most part. And if people get mad at it, they don't, you know, and they only want to see me do gaming or tech or lighthearted stuff, hey, there's other avenues for that. But I figured a good first video would kind of be to talk about why I'm not on GameStop TV anymore. I never have publicly made some sort of announcement or addressed this, and it's a big topic, especially since for years people have been trying to get me canceled and fired from GameStop TV. So if you don't know who I am, sorry, I will introduce myself. I'm Melonie Mac. I've been making mostly gaming related content, but kind of a little bit of everything, just what I like. But I've been doing that for like 12 years now. I've been in this for a while. Done a lot of gaming industry type stuff, a lot of hosting stuff in the gaming industry. And one of the more prominent things and one of the more recognizable things that people recognize me from is when I hosted for GameStop TV, which I did for about 4 years. I want to say I am one of the longest running female hosts, if not the longest running female host on GameStop TV. It's got to be something like that. It was a really fun time. So let me kind of go into detail on this. So the first time I really came under fire from the public, not completely, but a little bit, on social media was it had been after I'd been at GameStop for like 2 years. Okay, so this was like 2 years ago. And I made a tweet about Lara Croft. I'm a huge Tomb Raider fan, if you haven't noticed. And so I made a tweet about her, about how, like, I miss her old design, stuff like that. I actually really liked her old design, the curvy, femme fatale, powerful woman type thing. I'm not a fan of the make under, I call it. But that's just me. If other people who do like the change, that's great and that's fine. And I do like the character. I just don't find her to be Lara Croft. I mean, she's not the same person as classic Lara Croft. So I'm very passionate about this because I'm a big Tomb Raider fan. So I made a tweet about it. Some guy who used to work in the gaming industry, I'm not even going to use his name because he doesn't work in the gaming industry anymore. So, and he just, you know, had a very little following. There was just no, it wasn't like there was just some big, huge name that came after me. This was just somebody who just wanted to gripe. And he replied to me and basically was calling me an internalized misogynist and all that jazz because I liked Lara Croft's old curvy design in her outfit. And apparently that made me an internalized misogynist. So let me not get too long in this story because I got a lot of ground to cover here. I I dropped some facts, and one of those facts being that it was officially stated that Tomb Raider 1 had an over 40% female player base. And so I was like, dude, if it's so, like, misogynistic for Lara Croft to be a curvy woman and to wear shorts, then why is the player base so freaking heavily female, man? And so I just came back with some facts like that. He got really salty about it. What ended up happening was that whole dialogue kind of went viral. Thousands of likes and tons of retweets and stuff. It was picked up by even some social commentary content creators. The Quartering was one of them. He made a video about it. That's how I even found out about the Quartering, and we later, became friends as a result. But he covered it, and then there were just some other, I want to say even Shoe on Head, she made a tweet showing screen caps of it, and there was quite a few others who did the same. So it went very viral. That whole dialogue, basically, dude, look at this male feminist get owned by a woman type thing. Like, male feminist tries to tell a woman how to be a woman and what to be offended by. And so anyway, he had a lot of people that were like clowning on him a bit, and he was not upset, or he was not happy about that. And so he called GameStop headquarters, tried to get me fired for being an internalized misogynist. And then he even called the police on me. It got like bad, and he just kept going more viral, dude. He dug himself such the biggest hole. And every time someone would like clown on him, he'd reply and he'd say, adding to the list. Because he apparently compiled a list to show the police like they were going to get us in trouble. Of course, nothing ever came of that. So at that time, GameStop was like, what the crap is going on? I got a call from GameStop. They're like, wow, we got a call to our headquarters about this. This has to go through HR now and all that kind of stuff. Granted, they didn't think I did anything wrong, and so I didn't get in trouble for that. But let's just say that was the first of multiple occasions that people have tried to cancel me because I don't subscribe to the woke agenda. I mean, maybe there's some things that I have in common with them, but for the most part, I'm not on that.
I'm going to preface by saying I'm not a feminist.
I don't identify as a feminist. I've tried. I've got kicked out of a feminist group when I tried to do that because I said I think that women can't drive jokes are funny. So if that gives you any kind of idea, there's some background, all right? So anyway, then people, anytime I had some sort of take that was not, the approved narrative for a woman to have in this social space, in this social climate, and especially in the gaming industry, because for some reason, the gaming industry is extremely, they put a lot of pressure on having certain social views, and there's not much room for, I mean, a lot of y'all know that, especially if you're gamers and stuff. I mean, they're constantly trying to cancel people. Look at the dude who made Five Nights at Freddy's. He's a Christian, and he voted for Trump, and all this. So they went after his head, essentially, until he stepped down. They do this all the time. The cancel crowd, all that. They do this all the freaking time. And so, because I don't identify as a feminist, because I'm not like super woke and all that, I've always had a target on my back. And so anything that I post that they don't like, anything I say they don't like, then they try to come after me and try to ruin my entire livelihood because they can't handle different opinions. So, things were mostly okay, though. There was a couple instances where I would get call. I got another call on me because someone was mad about me being friends with the Quartering. And I got another call from GameStop when that happened, and they didn't even know who he was. My contact there didn't. He's like, who is this quartering guy? And somebody said he's a white supremacist and said you were friends with a white supremacist. I don't understand what's going on. I'm sure it's another crazy thing. But I just want to let you know what's going on, and that HR has to, like, just do this, their protocol and all that with that. And I was like, wow, sheesh. I got to a point to where I felt like I couldn't even openly interact with the quartering that often. Or anybody else of similar not woke approved narratives or belief systems or whatever it may be, which was sad because, I mean, all things considered, I like to be friends with people of a variety of beliefs and backgrounds and views and all that kind of stuff. I don't have the exact same views as any of my friends. I mean, that's a quite normal thing, but on social media, it's like, ooh. So anyway, yeah, I kind of just had to lay low with any type of interactions I had with any of my friends who happened to be more on a certain side. So they came after me again. The woke crowd tried to come after me again whenever the whole Gina Carano stuff happened, when she got fired from The Mandalorian, because, I was very open in the fact that I loved her and her character. And I just did not think that the firing was justified because, I mean, come on now. She's not allowed to have her own opinions. And so that was that. They tried to come after me again. Nothing happened of it. I remember simply liking a Gina Carano tweet. Or I think I replied and I just said, hey, I support you. So I don't even remember. It was something to that effect. And I had somebody from that fake woke crowd reply to me and go, oh snap, like they just exposed me, like, oh snap, wait, I just noticed you follow Gina Carano, you're ruined now. That was their exact words, you are ruined now. And they kept tagging GameStop. Oh, GameStop, do you know you have your host, she follows Gina Carano? Apparently that was supposed to make them shake in their boots. So nothing even happened to that. I didn't even get a phone call for that one. So yeah, this is giving you some context. This has been years that people have been coming for me, dude. And I wasn't even that outspoken about stuff. That's just scratching the surface. Now I'm more outspoken, but I'll get into that later. So, finally, the last really big attempt that went like crazy was last summer, okay? Last summer of the time I am recording this. And mind you, this all went down after a GameStop TV shoot. I had like a long day out where we just filmed all day. It was a really fun day. I was very excited about it. Get back home and find out I had a cancel campaign against me on Twitter that went relatively viral. Because the day before, I want to say, I made a tweet about current happenings with current mandates of certain things. Things that we can't totally say, or YouTube might take me down, but you know what I'm talking about. And I kept seeing, like, this is when, like, Philip DeFranco made a tweet saying, you're selfish. And it went really viral, and he's honestly, like, I follow him, and I as a person have respect for him, but I think his take here was absolutely ridiculous and rude and way out of line, man. Controlling and way out of line. And I saw that. I kept seeing other influencers in the gaming space parrot the same thing. And a lot of people parroting the same narrative, the same or you're selfish. And I'm like, bro, first of all, I didn't get I'm not against it. I think people who think that they would benefit from it should get it, right? But at the same time, it ain't nobody's place to tell anyone what kind of medical procedure or anything of that nature to get. That ain't your business, dude. Like, I believe in bodily autonomy. I believe in people making that kind of decision for themselves, just like I made that kind of decision for myself. So I decided I was going to make a tweet about it because I was like, dude, I just realized in this whole gaming space, there's nobody really that I could see that were prominent in the gaming niche who were saying that. They were all saying other things, and I just thought, dude, I can't imagine how much some of their followers have to feel kind of bullied right now, right? So I was like, let me try to be some sort of voice of reason here. And so I made a tweet. Basically, I said, hey, don't let anybody tell you what to do with your own body. You don't have to get the if you don't want to, and that doesn't make you not selfish. And I said something to the effect of, if it's selfish to not get a procedure that you don't want, a medical thing you don't want in your body, then be selfish. Good for you. I support you. If no one else supports you, I do. You do what you want, and you don't do what you don't want to do. That kind of thing. So I made that tweet, saying I had a little, and when I first made it, it had a little bit of backlash or whatever, but it wasn't like too awful bad. And it wasn't until the next day after my GameStop shoot, I come back home and just like my mentions were flooded. And not only were people trying to cancel me for that, but they were also trying to cancel, they wanted to ruin me. They wanted to absolutely ruin my reputation. We see like with Joe Rogan going on right now as well, that they act like it's all about misinformation, but yet they try to dig up other things. They're trying to character assassinate him, essentially. And so if they can't control you, and if they can't control a narrative that any way that you think, then they try to ruin you. That's a common manipulator's tactic, is if you are not controllable to them, then they will try to ruin your reputation to everybody else. This is common narcissism 101 here. So what happened was, one of these woke people, they went on a witch hunt on me and did some very specific searches to try to find anything on me, anything that I've said in the past that could be held against me. Well, they found something. They found some things from when I was 17 years old, and I'm 35 now. They found some things from when I was 17 years old. I said, this is not exactly something that I'm proud of saying, but it wasn't like, it was opinions I had, and it was opinions I had about, I'm trying to think of what I could say without getting deplatformed on YouTube, because like, even though I don't align with this stuff now, but just sharing, like, it was basically just, at the time, I was 17 years old. I didn't even know anything about the LGBT community. I'd never met a gay person in my life at that time. And anybody who's over the age of 30 knows of how different times were back then versus now. So a bunch of 18-year-olds like to hop on and judge people for certain things that they may say about that when they have no idea what was even things were like back then. So yeah, I made some statements about how I thought they were choosing to be that way, and that nobody's born that way, and all. I was just a stupid 17-year-old who had no freaking idea what I was talking about. Now I don't align with that. I think that you, I know, at least in my own experience, I don't get to choose who I'm attracted to, so I definitely don't think that people make a practice of choosing who they're attracted to. But my 17-year-old homeschool nerd self had different opinions. So they found that, screen capped it, and the rotations went around, and it went somewhat relatively viral when another individual in the gaming industry decided to use that as ammunition, decided to quote tweet that. And I thought this person was my friend, but here we are. And they quote tweeted it to try to, further the slander. They were very mad about me being anti-mandates, or what they call anti. And so, yeah, they had at it. And what ended up happening was I had quite a few people who I thought were my friends and also colleagues in the industry just throw me under the bus, because it gave them the opportunity to get a couple of internet points with strangers. So they threw me under the bus. Some of them said absolutely terrible things to me. basically telling me I don't even deserve to be living, things of that nature. These are people I thought cared about me and who I cared about them, and some of them I'd known for over a decade. So yeah, it was shocking. As you can imagine, seeing all that kind of hate, it hurt. It hurt a lot. Now, at the time, I wasn't going to back down on my statement and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, that happened and that hurt. So I immediately texted my friend. I was like, really hurt, very hurt. I didn't want anybody on social media to have the satisfaction of know of how bad I was hurt, though. So I stayed strong. I didn't bend the knee. I didn't apologize to the mob because that's not what I do. But I stuck up for myself. I was still reasonable about it. I wasn't going to attack anyone back. If someone wants to come at me and they want to be aggressive at me, I don't do that. That's not how I roll, and that's not how I'm trying to be. So, even though I did get that kind of hate from colleagues that whatever, and friends, for the most part, I would say about 95 or more % of any comments I got were positive, and I ended up netting positive followers out of that. Just like anytime anyone has ever tried to cancel me, I've always netted positive in the followers, because anything that they try to cancel me over has been over what most people in society consider common sense, but on woke Twitter, not so much. So anyway, that all happened. It's still every single day I'm still going on Twitter. I mean, that's been several months now. I still find out that people who I thought were my friends have unfollowed me and unfriended me and all. I still find out almost every day. And now I'm just like, well, okay, It hurt really bad at first, but then it just made me realize now I know who's really in my corner, and I know who was really only there for the clout, So it is what it is. So anyway, that all blew up. I did talk to GameStop about it at the time, and they were like, chill about it. They were like, hey, it's fine. Don't even worry about it. We know who you are as a person, and we know that we think you're a great person, and all that kind of stuff. And they were very nice to me. My points of contact that I had there. So that wasn't an issue. And I still further continued to host with them. I tried to stay mostly under the radar because I started feeling like guilty because I can't say anything. I can't be an individual. I can't be anybody with their own unique thoughts without somebody trying to cancel me, without somebody calling GameStop headquarters trying to get me fired. And it started to make me feel guilty because I didn't want to inconvenience anyone at GameStop. I didn't want to cause any drama with them just because I was being my own self and sharing my own opinions. For some reason, it caused that kind of backlash. So I tried to chill a bit, and I did, and was pretty problem free for a while there. Well, then last September, so it wasn't even that much longer after my cancel campaign, I got a phone call. I was kind of expecting it. My contract was ending, and I knew that after that last shoot, okay, this was the last of my contract, so it would have to get renewed for anything else. But I got an email saying, hey, want to know if you're available for a call, talking about some things. And immediately I knew, I was like, something's going on. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if they don't renew things with me. And so I knew I didn't know exactly why, but I felt like, yeah, it is what it is. But either way, like, I was expecting it. It wasn't something that I wanted, but it was at the same time, I was like, I no hard feelings for whatever reason. I had a long run with them. So, and I've always, anything I've ever hosted with them, the whole team that I've worked with, phenomenal, amazing. Like, out of anybody I've hosted for, they were my favorite. They treated me so wonderfully. And that's saying a lot because I've hosted for great people. So I get the call, and what ended up happening on this call was they said, hey, just wanted to let you know GameStop TV's restructuring. We are laying off the entire all of the hosts for GameStop TV. And essentially GameStop TV is no longer a thing, and we're doing some new stuff now. So they told me that. I was like, all right, thank you so much. Thank you for the 4 years. Love you guys. Like, basically said nice things. They said nice things back. They said, we want to let you know you didn't do anything wrong. This isn't about you specifically. It's just we're restructuring and we got new stuff going on. And so we're laying off the entire hosting team. That stuff's normal. And so I'm used to it. I've been in this industry for a long time. So I was like, all right, well, thank you so much. Love you guys, basically. And I didn't announce it. And I haven't said anything until now because I knew that if I said it at that time, it was still relatively fresh that the cancel campaign happened and the mob came after me. And so I knew if I were to make some kind of announcement at that time, then the cancel crowd would just try to take credit for it and be like, oh yeah, we finally did it. And even if they didn't think they were responsible, I knew they'd just be celebrating because, the tolerant peeps, the tolerant side, they love nothing more than to try to ruin people's lives. So any sign of any type of work missed or something like that I don't have anymore, like that would make them so excited. So that's why I didn't announce it. Now I did answer it on like my stream and stuff like that when people asked. Or on the occasional like tweet or something. And then some people found out because some of my fellow co-hosts, they made their announcements. And so people put 2 and 2 together. So yeah, that's it. That's what happened. I feel like I just spent a long time to describe something that could have been very short, but I had to give some context on some things. So that's what happened. But it ended up what happened. The result of that has been, things work out. Things work out for the better a lot of times. Even though obviously I absolutely loved hosting with GameStop TV. If they asked me again and they were okay with me being opinionated on the internet, I would do it. But one thing I will say, and it just brings me to the verse Romans 8:28 that God works all things for the good of those who believe and love him. And I'm like, this is what happened with me. Now, at the time, I wasn't seeing that, and it wasn't until later, and especially fairly recent. But what's happened as a result is because I don't have that anymore, I feel like I can be myself more. Now, I still have G Fuel as a sponsor currently. That I'm still under contract with them for a bit. I love G Fuel. And the thing is, though, is G Fuel doesn't seem to be that picky about forcing people to have one way of thought. I notice out of the people that G Fuel sponsors, there's a variety of backgrounds and beliefs and opinions, and people have tagged G Fuel to try to get me to lose my sponsor over stuff. And G Fuel has not even so much as commented or emailed me or called me or anything of that nature. So I have not ever remotely come under fire with G Fuel. Now, is that to say, do I think G Fuel is going to sponsor me forever for whatever reason? No, but I just know I'm currently sponsored with them under contract, and I currently have not had any talking to or have had any indication that they expect me to be silent. Okay. So, because of that, I feel like I'm a lot more open and I'm a lot more myself. And it has made content creation a million billion times more fun for me, because for the past couple years or so, feeling more limited and feeling more scared that the mob's gonna try to ruin my livelihood and all that, it has made me feel like I can't be myself and can't be that open. And now I just don't worry about it anymore. Not only has that resulted in me having more happiness out of the content I create, but it's helped me reach more people, more awesome people who I vibe with, dude. And I think that's awesome. And like one of my happiest achievements as of late, like Gina Carano followed me back on Twitter and Instagram, and I was like, no freaking way. I don't even fangirl that often, but I did for that. I love her. So yeah. So the way I see it is like, hey, you know, everything has worked out for the good in the end. I feel like I've gotten a lot of my passion back for making content. And I'm ready to go. I made this channel. I told myself I was going to try to keep videos at like 10 minutes or less. And just upload frequent because I can go on tangents. But here we are. My first video is over 30 minutes long. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to make this video just me talking about everything that happened. And no like fancy editing. No like fancy PR speak. I just want to be myself, dude. I don't want to be myself and tell you what happened as transparently as possible. And so that's what I've done here. So anybody who's wondering like, oh, why is Melonie Mac not on GameStop TV anymore? That's why. Again, though, this is no shade to GameStop. They're awesome. And I love their team. I love the new content that they've been putting out thus far. They've been doing great. And I hope that they continue to do great. And yeah. So that's that. I hope that answers any questions you may have. If you would like to subscribe for more videos of me on this channel talking about social commentary stuff, then subscribe. Leave me a comment. All that stuff. Also, if you happen to just be on Twitter and you see something like things that are trending or certain topics or certain things going on, and you're like, whoa, I'd love to see Melonie's opinion on this. I'd love to see a video on this. Tag me. I would definitely be down to see what y'all are suggesting. So I would love to upload on here regularly. There's always something to talk about in this world. So that's it. I'm excited. This is my space to just be me as much as I can within YouTube's limitations. But thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I will catch you again soon. Peace.